Hey friends, welcome to what turned out to be part 2 of a 2-part video. In the first part, I was talking about Dharma practice and why it's important right now in this moment, October 2020, where it feels like we just have like multiple crises layered on top of each other. And this video is about like a really important part of that for me, which is the connection to non-ordinary reality. Buddhas, if you want to put it that way, transcendent energies. So I hope you enjoy. I hope it's helpful. So all of that is one thing, you know, what the Buddha Dharma is meant to do really, to cut through all this noise and static in our lives and get down to reality. There's something else though that I want to talk about, and I kind of feel like I'm coming out of the closet here, but I want to talk about non-ordinary reality. I think this is like a really important piece of Tibetan Buddhism anyway, that often gets left out of its translation into like a Western convert context. So for me, practices that I find in Tibetan Buddhism, the practices in Ngondro and foundational practices, they're so profound, not just because like I sit in a room and I do these practices and they have an impact on me, but because I sit in a room and I do these practices and they connect me to a whole lineage going back thousands of years of other people who have done these practices, of people whose blessings I feel are available to me as I do these practices. It connects me to Buddhas. I mean, I know it's not fashionable to think of, you know, the Buddha of compassion, Buddha of wisdom, all these different Buddhas as like actual beings out there. And I'm not sure they're actual beings, but there's a definite energy. And when we like recite Om Mani Padme Hum, the mantra of the Buddha of compassion, Avalokiteshvara, like I think we're calling on someone. I feel in myself and in my life that when I do deity yoga practices and really spend time on those Buddhas, cultivating their qualities, imagining myself to be them and letting that energy flow through. Like to me, that's been one of the most important sources for energy, for support, for just not falling into despair as we all go through these dark times together. So I want to come out and say to my fellow practitioners of Tibetan Buddhism, I hope you're not like afraid to go there and to really feel like, okay, I recited 100 Mani mantras today, Om Mani Padme Hum. I did something. I pulled an energy, I opened a channel for some energy to go into the world that comes from beyond me. You know, there's this term transpersonal, means like greater than just what is personal to us. And I really believe in the power of these energies, whether you want to call them Buddhas or angels or like whatever your terminology is. I believe that Buddhism offers us a way, the Dharma offers us a way. It's not just Buddhism and all forms of Dharma, whether it's, you know, Hindu Dharma, Christian Dharma, Jewish Dharma, etc. Like Dharma offers us a way to allow those energies to flow into the world, and like the world needs it so much right now. So this is my call to myself primarily, but to anyone else who's interested and who's still listening. This is my call to not discount practice right now, to practice with a full appreciation of what practice does, not just for us, but for the world, for the people around us, that it's not just me sitting in a room practicing, that there's a whole lineage backing me up. In Tibetan Buddhism, we have this idea of lineage where, you know, our teachers and their teachers and their teachers back and back and back, like there's this personal living connection that in theory we can trace all the way back to the Buddha. And there's this sense also that these people who have gone before and maybe like are no longer here physically, that they're still with us somehow. And I really feel that that's true. And even beyond that, you know, so many cultures have practices in which we propitiate the ancestors, we connect with them, we ask them for help. And if I think about the ancestors we have available to us right now, like we have Gandhi, we have like Dr. Martin Luther King, now we have Ruth Bader Ginsburg, like we have John Lewis, we have like these amazing beings that we can call on for strength. I mean, if we want a political activism ancestry, no matter what side of the spectrum you're on, we have that. And I feel like now is the time to invoke all the blessings, invoke all the support of the ancestors, to invoke everything we can. Because we're really at a crossroads right now. This feels like a moment in history where we could choose a couple of very different paths. And voting is super important, but we need to be voting every day with our energy. We need to be voting every day with the way that we treat ourselves and the way that we treat other people. We need to be voting every day by what we're invoking. I really feel that, you know, the non-ordinary energies of the world, they're not just benign. There are plenty of people out there invoking the memory of Hitler. I mean, there's like actual Nazis again in the world. So those of us who aren't fans of Nazis, we have our own powerful figures. So let's invoke them. Let's have a sense of like wrathful compassion and this sense that we're not going to be dragged down into despair and inaction because of what's happening in the world, that we're actually going to take it as a wake-up call to practice harder. In the spirit of thinking through the tools that we have to support ourselves at this time, to support each other at this time, to support our activism at this time, I want to make a few more of these videos. So I'll be talking about refuge, bodhicitta, deity yoga, and some other topics like that. I hope they're helpful. I would love to hear from you in the comments what you think, what you practice, any thoughts that you have. I'd love to just have a conversation about this. So thank you for watching, and stay strong and happy Dharma practice, everyone.